When a multinational enterprise expands, the immediate assumption is that paying a distributed workforce is a standard human resources task, just another administrative workflow to be managed. But that assumption obscures the underlying mechanics. Cross-border payroll is actually the largest and most complex continuous financial flow within the entire organization. For decades, companies handled this by hiring disjointed local payroll bureaus and pushing international employee disbursements through the traditional SWIFT banking network. That structural fragmentation generates severe operational drag. It guarantees delayed salary disbursements, exposes the company to opaque foreign exchange markups, and introduces massive compliance liabilities across hundreds of different tax codes. Papaya Global was founded in 2016 on the thesis that workforce scalability is inherently tied to the velocity, visibility, and compliance of embedded financial infrastructure. We're going to deconstruct the architecture behind this $3.7 billion valuation. We will move down the stack from its multi-agent compliance layer and microservice orchestration engine all the way to its direct integrations with Tier 1 banking rails. Solving the global payroll crisis requires a company to physically own the underlying financial pipeline. This diagram maps the legacy employer of record model. These providers calculate pay internally, but when it comes time to actually move the capital, they hand the funds over to third-party payment providers routed through the SWIFT network. Because SWIFT relies on a chain of correspondent banks, a single transfer can face unpredictable delays of 1 to 5 business days, with each intermediary extracting a fee along the route. In March 2022, Papaya executed an acquisition estimated between $150 and $200 million for Azimo, a London-based cross-border payment service. This was a strategic regulatory land grab. The deal transferred Azimo's direct money transfer licenses, including oversight from the UK's FCA, the DNB in Europe, and Austrac in Australia, legally transforming Papaya into a licensed financial institution. Looking at the updated architectural flow, the capital now moves directly from a corporate account into a Papaya virtual IBAN. From there, it routes through local clearing schemes like SEPA or ACH, terminating straight into a worker wallet. These segregated customer money accounts allow clients to fund their wallet in corporate working capital flexibility and minimizing foreign exchange volatility. By completely circumventing SWIFT dependencies, this direct integration achieves a 95% same-day payment execution rate. Because Papaya owns the payment rail end-to-end, it offers a contractually guaranteed land date. The platform assumes full financial liability if an employee is not paid exactly on payday. Removing third-party banking intermediaries transforms payroll into an active, controllable layer of the enterprise treasury. To control those physical capital movements across Tier 1 banks, we have to look one level up the stack to the software orchestration layer. Standard off-the-shelf orchestrators like Uber's Cadence lack the hyper-nuanced logic required to navigate heavily regulated, multi-jurisdictional payroll flows. Instead, Papaya's engineering team built nLighten. It is a proprietary back-end engine powered by over 100 distinct microservices, developed autonomously across engineering hubs in Israel, India, and Poland. This diagram illustrates nLighten's automated fallback mechanism. If a data packet fails at an HTTP node during a payroll run, it does not drop the process. It immediately redirects. The system dynamically attempts to route the data via gRPC. If that fails, it pushes the data directly into an Apache Kafka queue. This specific queuing sequence guarantees zero data loss and maintains absolute system availability during rigid payroll cutoff windows. On the front end, this engine integrates with universal connectors to securely map enterprise data from systems like Workday directly into the platform, eliminating up to 90% of manual data entry. Once a global payroll cycle is approved, an API automatically generates perfectly mapped journal entries and pushes them straight into the client's NetSuite general ledger. Standard software-as-a-service architecture cannot support financial orchestration at this scale. Real resilience requires purpose-built protocol fallbacks and automated synchronization with enterprise resource planning systems. Maintaining compliance across collective bargaining agreements, local tax codes, and worker classifications in over 160 jurisdictions is beyond the capacity of standard human resources teams. Papaya One manages this through a strictly constrained proprietary multi-agent system designed to provide localized compliance support without the hallucination risks common in generic language models. This visual breaks down the three-stage processing sequence. First, the reading agent scans the uploaded contract or corporate policy to detect the specific context and local jurisdiction. Next, the reasoning agent maps the text against a curated knowledge base of current statutes, checking for complex legal contours like Finnish collective bargaining agreements or permanent establishment tax risks in India. Finally, the reviewing agent independently verifies those findings, attaching direct, exact statutory citations to every conclusion before delivering the output in roughly 30 seconds. Because the system validates contractor status against specific local laws, Papaya backs this validation financially, contractually absorbing up to $25,000 per incident in worker misclassification liability. This intelligence layer also targets active security threats. Microsoft Threat Intelligence tracks campaigns by so-called payroll pirates, attackers who bypass multi-factor authentication to reroute salaries to foreign bank accounts. Papaya's anomaly detection engine always assumes compromise. It treats last-minute bank detail changes or geographic location mismatches as secured workflows, requiring multi-vector approvals via SMS and mobile apps to neutralize unauthorized diversions. Within this infrastructure, artificial intelligence operates as a programmatic mechanism for directly capping an enterprise's legal and financial exposure. A flawless software architecture and highly regulated banking rails create strong internal security, but they cannot fully insulate a company from geopolitical and corporate volatility. In January 2023, massive protests erupted against proposed judicial reforms in Israel. Amidst the unrest, Papaya Global CEO Einat Guez publicly announced that the company would withdraw all of its corporate funds from the country in protest of the government's actions. These protests were heavily populated by the domestic tech industry. It represented a severe clash between private enterprise and state policy. The decision ignited a fierce public conflict with Dovi Francis, an Israeli-American venture capitalist, whose fund, Group 11, held a 2.8% stake in Papaya. Accusing management of acting on personal ideology and failing to communicate with shareholders, Francis sent a letter offering to sell Group 11's entire holding, 10.6 million shares, for $12.5 million. That represented a 90% discount. While Papaya issued legal warnings for defamation and noted ready buyers for the discounted shares, the offer implicitly slashed the unicorn's $3.7 billion valuation down to roughly $444 million on the secondary market. Building infrastructure for a borderless economy exposes an organization to the localized political stability of its leadership and headquarters. Software does not exist in a vacuum. We have deconstructed the layers required to move billions of dollars across the globe: strictly constrained AI compliance agents, proprietary Kafka fallback engines, and licensed Tier 1 treasury rails. Successful globalization requires assembling this localized financial infrastructure and maintaining the corporate resilience to withstand external political shocks. Multinational enterprises can no longer rely on fragmented workflow tools and legacy correspondent banking networks to pay distributed teams. The organizations that dominate the next decade will successfully transition their mindset from managing people as an administrative overhead to orchestrating global capital as liquid, strategic infrastructure.